Welcome to the Up the Glen podcast. Folks, I love this time of year. September time, spiced apples, pumpkin spice lattes, all the wee bookers going back to school. It's magic. It really got me thinking about all of them times when it was like my first day to school. I always remember them, and I used to fucking be terrified. Like, I don't know about yous. All the adults when I was young used to wake me up about big school, saying the teachers would pull your ear and you'll get bullied and certain things will happen and all. I was fucking petrified. See, going to that boys' model, like, I hated it. Fucking hated it. So, I got expelled from the boys' model and I went to Castlehanney and I got expelled again. Which is going to bring in my next guest here, alright, because I actually went to a group called the Pathways Project and that was a fucking gig. To be honest, it was really laid back and they let you they listen to your opinion. But some of the laughs we used to have down there. So I finished my last year in school actually in a social exclusion group called the Pathways Project, which is run by Extern. Alright. So, find it's just a wee bit magical that I happened to run into Carline again, September time. And I would have met her around 19 years ago. That's how quick it's fucking going now. Stop that clock. Right? So, September time, folks. Which is going to make me welcome my very first guest here, who I absolutely love, which is the amazing youth worker, the mother of all, the one that cares for all of us, we delinquents, even after we grow up. Folks, I give you the amazing Caroline Rutherford. Caroline, welcome to the Up the Glen podcast.
Thank you. We're a bit
Caroline,
nervous now, Glenn.
nervous? Oh, I think it'll be great. Caroline, I'm sure you have to deal with delinquents all the time who maybe are cheeky and have an attitude. And for those who don't know, I've known Caroline, 20 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember how you met me, Caroline?
I know I came out to your house, Glenn. We got a wee referral from you from Castle High School.
Mm-hmm.
And we would go out and do home visits for people coming to Pathways in the new year. Yeah, so I remember going out to your house and meeting you in your house. And just explaining to you what Pathways was about. And inviting you up to us. And then you started with us in the Shankle.
Yeah.
So plenty of energy, Glenn. Plenty of
energy, very outspoken.
Character. And I would say a lot of our Pathways ones are just wee characters.
Pathways was a group that, because I'd had ADHD and I was a wee bit troubled in school, as in didn't listen, wasn't really getting an education in a mainstream school. So in 5th year, rather than be expelled, I went to Pathways, and Carline takes responsibility. Even 20 years later, we're still friends. We're still in touch.
No, we're still in touch.
And you're like that with a lot of people, aren't you? A lot of your.
I'm blessed, yeah, and that's a lot of the young people that we would have had previously, especially ones I'd have worked with. I was always in covering if somebody was off. I'd have covered the project worker post. So yeah, I'd like to keep in touch and follow their stories and see how they're doing.
Yeah. Carline, can you remember that day that we had to go out and do that activity? And I wrote a letter.
Yes, so we had Women's Tech had come in. Pathways, we were always kind of struggling with funding and stuff, so we were always trying to get extra stuff in for free. So we got Women's Tech in, who were going to do an electrical course with our young women, but would only do it with our young women. So the men were excluded, or the young boys were excluded.
None of them cared about it.
No, but they were going, most of them, because they were going to get playing football and stuff. So most of them had enjoyed that. But you obviously didn't want to go.
No.
And play football, and would rather been with the rest of them doing the electrical course.
Yeah.
So you wrote me a wee letter just voicing your concerns and saying that you weren't happy and you were putting in a complaint, and that if I didn't listen to it, that you were going to go to my bosses and tout on me, basically. Yeah, but I thought it was lovely and I loved it. And then you came, what was it, about 5 years ago?
Yeah, well, it was a bit longer. I think it was and it was up at the other building. I think, remembering I had actually went into your office and I'd sat down and they looked over in the wall and there was the letter.
Yeah, so all these things in the office, kind of different wee things that I thought was special or would mean something to me. I would have them all around the office, and wee letters like that, specially written, always meant something to me. So I kept it.
Carline, now a lot of the parents out there will be watching who definitely have ADHD children, definitely understand what suspension is, expulsion, schools, board of governors, they'll know all these words. What would you say to them? And what would you say to them maybe about the likes of Pathways and things?
I suppose I always thought of it, Glenn, in terms of what would I want for my own children. I have a couple of kids of my own, and 2 boys. And then more recently, I had a wee boy who's ASD and learning difficulties. But even before I had him, I'd have thought, what would I want for my children?
Yeah.
So ideally, I would have wanted my children to finish in mainstream school.
Yeah.
But if that wasn't working for them, or if it was causing, especially kind of anxiety and emotionally, if they weren't happy, then I would far rather they came to Pathways and had that
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
We're smaller, with about 10 young people in a group. You can't hide anywhere.
Yeah.
You
There's
can't
nowhere for them to
hide in the
hide.
classroom,
Yeah.
And we have that group of 10 young people, and we have them for at least 9 months, and you're with them as a project worker. You're with them 5 days a week from 9 to
Yeah.
3. So you
Yeah.
really get to know them.
And they're getting a bit more benefit as opposed to being in a classroom with 30 or 40 people, a big school, as where they're able to concentrate and it can be more stimulated then.
Yeah, and I think too, if education was going to work for them, then school would work for them. If school isn't working for them, then they need something else other than that
Yeah,
education.
rather than just go onto the streets and have no, they fall away then from society, fall away from what mainstream school maybe isn't for everybody. It certainly is proven that way. So alternative education was sort of a bit smaller when I went 20 years ago, but now it's like a classroom at the some of the things I have down here now. It's really good. I remember walking in that doors, I was a wee delinquent.
We never seen any of the wee delinquents. We always seen as all as wee characters.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of lifelong learning. You can always go back to education, but you need to get, what we try to do is get that love for learning back into young people, no matter. So we'll use different teaching techniques. It's very much a youth work approach, to try and engage young people back in learning. And we call them, we would talk more and more now about our Pathways family, and that's the way we feel about it, in terms of the young people that come, you genuinely care for them, and you'd be so chuffed whenever they do well, the likes of yourself, and Shireen and different ones you see really succeeding. We always knew it was in you. It was just getting
I know,
that
Carline,
out.
you did. She used to tell us, like, one day you can be this and you can be that. It felt like you were allowed to go to Pathways and you were allowed to curse, you were allowed to voice your opinion, you were allowed to be who you were, and they listened to you. And honestly, at the start, I remember we didn't know what way to take it at the start. Remember, Claire was going to leave and all. She was going to, one of the project leaders was going to leave, and I think really it was because of me. And we ended up being friends then. But it's just one of them things. Children's often feel, and I often felt that it was all going to be the same everywhere I went. This teacher syndrome, where the teachers are telling you what to do, or not listening to you, or not understanding you. So many people feel like that, and they feel like education won't work. But coming to somewhere like Pathways, it did definitely change my life. It did. Definitely.
That's lovely, Glenn. Funny, I got earlier on the year, I got a wedding invitation to one of the very first young people I had.
Yeah.
And he, it was over 20 years ago, and for him to even come and seek me out, to invite me and just to be part of his day, it was just beautiful. I would say, in all of my career in youth work, it was the highlight of my career.
Yeah.
Just to be able to go and, he had lost both parents young, and he'd, it's talk about adverse childhood experiences and things now.
And overcoming things.
Yeah, we know that if shit happens in your life when you're young, it's going to affect you when you're older, but
definitely
to be able to see him and, to be able to kind of be part of that day, it was really magical, and they gave us me a wee mention in their speeches. Now they still called me their teacher, and I was forever saying, I'm not your teacher, I'm not a teacher, I'm a youth worker. Trying to bring that love of learning back into young people's lives.
Yeah, it is phenomenal. A lot of you home have children now, and and you maybe wanted them to be in school and different things, and it hasn't worked out that way. And if they're still in, honestly, if the school mentions anything about Pathways or anything, don't be able to actually go ding dong. This is where maybe I'm going to get 5 minutes space. This is where they're going to actually be stimulating, coming home. Well, I did this today, and I did that today.
And to be able to phone parents and tell them good things, because a lot of the times, whenever the young people come here, we'll have, it's nearly like a rap sheet some of them get, in terms of suspensions and different things I've had in school. We'll read it and fail it. That's not, but to be able to phone a parent, we phone parents and just say to them, just to let you know, Glenn's done really well today, or he done something. And we've had parents cry and just say we've never had
that
phone call.
Never had that from any school or any teacher. I think maybe my mummy went through that a wee bit, definitely me, because all my reports were always bad. Glenn's been mischievous. But honestly, I think too, Carline, the fact that I remember back then, it was like you couldn't go truant or anything because it was a minibus.
Yeah.
It was kind of like if you went truant or anything, there was a minibus that came and got you, but it was brilliant. We had the best crack in it. It really was. We need to have a proper reunion. We are a group.
We are. Well, we're coming 25 next year, so Carrie has big plans for her 25th birthday.
We really need to do
all
something
out for it, and
powerful.
try and get everybody back in. that we can. We had a 20th one, but there was no drink at it, and I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
put a lot of people off
yeah.
coming.
I think we should have one in like a hotel or
That's
something.
what we're going for. It's
Yeah.
really like that formal. That's, you know, we're talking with that too. A lot of young people, they miss out on their formal when they come to
Yes,
Pathways.
yes.
So it's
I didn't
maybe
get
to
a
have
formal.
that.
I didn't get no
Um,
prom.
So it may be that kind of opportunity or
Yes.
whatever,
Oh,
you
Carline,
know.
I would love
So
that. Really, really love it.
no, I'd say Carrie done a fun day too, and we're planning that again too, you know. So we put on stuff because our young people have their own children now,
Yeah.
you know, so that they can
Yes.
bring their
Yes.
children and
Yes.
they can have a
It
fun
is
day
one big
together.
family, Carline, isn't it?
It is definitely.
I dare say you'll probably be at a lot of the weddings. I would
don't
say.
know.
Well, I don't know. Definitely, I know a few people would probably definitely invite you. You spoke with the other girl earlier on. I know she would. Definitely, she loves you.
Oh, no, I
Shireen
say
definitely
like
loves you.
we're really fond. You know,
Yeah.
like you do get genuine feelings. And funny, but I was on LinkedIn. I was putting messages to some CEOs post the other night to say, you'll have seen before when you come into GLEN the young people we've lost, you know,
Yes.
and that's for all of the young people we work with. And if you take the risks that those young people take,
Yeah.
it's a miracle we haven't lost more, but we
Yeah.
have lost.
Yeah.
And it's going into double numbers now, young people, and it's all either through suicide, drugs, or risk-taking behaviour,
Yeah.
motorbike accidents, car
Yeah.
accidents,
Yeah.
or whatever. And we
Things
kind
that could
of,
have been prevented.
well, you would hope so, you know, but it's just our real lives were just, some of them, the real struggles were too much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But we still remember them, and they're still part of our family. But I was explaining to somebody the other week, whenever we have young people in, we genuinely care about them,
Yeah.
you know. And then whenever, if you lose them like that, it really hurts.
Yeah.
It really does hurt, you know.
Yeah.
But you have to give a bit of yourself to those young people, because if you're in just doing a job, young
Yeah.
people know, they see through you straight away.
Yeah.
They know,
Yeah.
you know. So you have to give a bit of yourself, and then when you lose them, it hurts.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
but you still need the. And I know the first young person I'd lost through suicide, I thought, right, no, I'm not. I can't do this job. You know,
Yeah.
it's too hard. And then I'd done it for him. You know, I was, you know, once I
Yeah.
kind of got around it, and I was no. And then I thought, I'll just detach myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'll not get involved. I'll not, you know,
Yeah.
kind of
You couldn't help it.
care, you know, and I couldn't help it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, I tried for the first year and it didn't really work.
Yes.
And then there's always one wee character that you'll click with
Yeah.
yourself and go on.
Yeah.
Chris McKenna was one too,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then I'd lost him the next year too. So you always carry that hurt with you.
Yeah.
But then you get so much joy out of seeing people like yourself
Yeah.
do well, or
Yeah.
Shireen, or
Carline,
so
I think there
many.
needs to be more people like you in education, running services for young people that actually have their heart in it and care. Because, to be honest, it's not just about a wage. It's not just about being able to go home and pay your bills, but actually feeling like you're making a difference in people's lives. That must be very rewarding for you.
It is. It
Yeah.
is, and it's such a privilege for us in Pathways to be part of that.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to see
Yeah.
young people enjoying learning again, or being able to see you go on and, you know, and be successful in your
Yeah.
lives. It's such a privilege to be part
Yeah.
of that.
And do you
journey.
have a website, Carline?
Do you even know? Extern have, we're part of Extern, so Extern would have a website, and Pathways would be on that. But no, we
Yeah.
don't have something specifically for Pathways,
Yeah.
but it's something we may do.
Yeah. Carline, anything you want to say to anybody at home?
It just reminded me now that there's a camera here. No, I think it's just education. It's a lifelong thing, you know, it's a
Yeah.
lifelong journey. And if you come out of education for whatever reason when you're younger,
Yeah.
you can always go back.
Yeah.
You know, I went back myself. I left school of enough, you know, qualifications. I had to go back. Education's always there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But those teenage years, or that adolescence, it's such a key part
Yeah.
of your life, and it can make or break you.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
education and school isn't working for you, take a different pathway.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yes,
that's
take a
it.
different pathway. I love it. Carline, you've been a great guest. Will you come on
Thank
again
you.
soon?
I will as
Yes, I'm
well.
going to give you a big hug.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, love. Carline, you have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for all that you do, honestly. Some people out there, folks, do a job and they just to go home and that's their job and that's that 9 to 5, whatever it is. And then there's other people like Carline who their job is very much their heart and they very much feel everything around them. And honestly, if it wasn't for ladies like Carline, yeah, we wouldn't have ones like me. All right, so I'm just going to say that right now. Delinquent, it wouldn't even have been in it. But Carline, thank you. So, speaking of delinquent, I was going to do a video of me talking so you could see. However, I've got 2 stakers at the minute, for fuck's sake. I went over to see my friend Shaunna, who's actually my next guest. Now I've known Shaunna quite a long time now. We're really good friends, and I had actually encouraged her to go and do a PDO threading course. She does a wee bit of aesthetics, a bit of beauty. She actually has her own salon, the sunbed shop over in Four Winds called Maddison Avenue. But she wanted to do these threads. Now I love them. I'm not really into all fillers and things. I'm just not into all that. To me it wears off very, very quickly. But I do like threads. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy getting threads put on. Keeps your skin nice and tight. Creates neocollagenesis. Be it with the ugly fucking stick, because I'm like panda face now, but it's going to be all good. She does a really, really good job. And if you're wanting something, say you're wanting your skin to be firmed, or you're wanting a lift, or you're wanting something, and you're wanting it instant, and you're wanting it's going to last for a year or two, you really need to look out for the thread. And it's very, very good. Now, it's been used in heart surgery. Take it off a heart. Used in heart surgery, folks, for over fucking 50 years, right? They actually dissolve inside your skin. So, I mean, I really enjoy them, like, really, really enjoy them. And I really enjoy, like, just, it's that feeling of, I don't know what way to explain it when your skin, I don't know, seems like getting older, 19 years from it being the pathways from the last year at school. Some days you look in the mirror and you're like, what the F? You know what I mean? So again, it's not about changing anything at all. All right, it took me long enough to like the ugly bake I've got. However, I want to stay looking the way that I look because I've got to give myself to our people. So it was a bit of a laugh, really, because Shaunna just says it. She really just says it. She's very forward. I have a lot of time for. We have worked together before in a different sunbed shop, so we know each other a real long time. She introduced me to aliens. Believe it or not, we had the whole fucking alien conversation. That was kind of how we really met. I would often call her an alien because she's just amazing. She's a bit different. So my next guest, and I near fell off the site. Where do you see? You'll be watching the video. And if you're listening, be sure to go on and watch the clip of me and Shaunna because I fall off the fucking chair. And actually, every time, there's always something fucking funny in this podcast. It's not even meant to be funny. I fall off the chair, fall on my arse or something, or I'm covered in muck. I'm literally waiting on myself going fucking head first into the muck next time. Maybe before the end of the season, folks. Maybe. So, without further ado, I've been hating away all week, but honestly, I can't wait to see this interview too. We've got, coming up now, we have my next guest, which is Shaunna Maddison, folks.
Right. You were meant to give me questions and answers and all. I'm not really good with this.
Shaunna, welcome to the Up the Glen podcast.
We
were meant to, I was meant to give her questions, but Shaunna's been so fucking busy the past couple of days. And the girl that runs Pathways, she was in yesterday.
Very good.
And then I had another girl called Brenda. She does all coaching, so she had her as well. So I've been fucking flat out. But Shaunna, you got started out basically with a wee bit of beauty, didn't you?
I did. Many years ago would that have been now when
About
we were working
5 or
with me?
6?
No, 7
7 years
so
maybe.
about 7 years ago. Through beauty, I worked in a care home for 9 years, and then started through beauty.
Yeah.
And then went into phlebotomy, and from there, then obviously went into injections.
Yeah. And aesthetics, and you do everything. Now, everybody knows I like a wee bit of aesthetics, but I'm not really so much filler or anything. Well, not yet anyway. One of the things that I love and I encourage you to go and do was the threading course.
Yeah.
Because I just think, I imagine olden times, women have always been working with needles and threads, you know what I mean? So how do we know that we weren't using threads in ancient times to like fix their face? I believe they were. How did Cleopatra get her eyebrows and all up, and how did she always like stay young? I feel like it was probably threads. So tell us a wee bit about the threads.
So the threads, there's 3 types of threads: monos, screws, and cogs. The monos and screws I don't really recommend because, well, they'll give you the collagen production and stuff, but they'll not do what a cog does. The cog obviously lifts the area that you're treating and will pull your face back, which is amazing. Obviously, when the threads go in, they reproduce loads of collagen and just give you a full lift and the glow. They're amazing. They're really, really good.
Yeah. Not everybody does threads. They're very, very popular in England. They're very popular in America. They're also used in heart surgery, but I just love them. I've had them quite a few times.
Well, they are. They're used in surgeries. That's right.
Yeah.
Too, for inside.
Yeah. Heart surgery and all too. Because they just
Mhm.
dissolve inside your skin.
Yeah.
So, Shaunna, what all can people get done over here? We're over at your beautiful salon. Have you been open now?
8 months.
Brilliant. Are you doing well?
Brilliant.
Busy?
It's getting really busy. Yeah.
Gemma, you also say, I actually met you through Gemma, didn't I?
Yeah.
Gemma was also on this podcast. She comes over here and does a wee day to do her lip blush and her eyebrows, her microblading and that too. So what all can people get done over here?
Now, you should have told me I could have lifted one of my leaflets there before I started.
Well, we can get it.
So obviously, fillers, jawline filler, cheek filler, chin filler, any facial filler really, lips, the cogs, anti-wrinkle, skin boosters, fat injections. Nah, I can't even remember, Glenn. What else is there?
beauty,
Sunbeds and beauty, nails,
tanning.
waxing, tanning.
I mean, it's all about
Everything,
feeling
really.
good.
And
It
then
is.
obviously Gemma wear brows and her lip blush and stuff, so you can get everything.
It's all about feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't feel good, sometimes you can't. Well, for me, it's I have to approach people. I have to be seeing it. People have to see me doing things, so I have to feel good. So I'm getting ready to film something with Dave Elliott for BBC, so that's why I'm coming over here today to sort of get you to have a wee look at my face. But everybody's been saying it's still great.
Yeah, I know. I think yours is anyway.
Really,
you're
and
just,
I don't know whether I can still feel it there, but it's still like real tight. Really,
yeah.
really tight. So they're really good, folks. And people don't know a lot about them. They asked for the sword. No, not really. They're not really sore at all.
I think they're sore. Glenn thinks different.
But the downtime's not.
The giant now, obviously, the swelling and bruising, but it depends on each individual. Everybody's body works different. The swelling and bruising can be sore, like obviously they'll be tender and all for a few days after, but and you sort of have to have rest and bitch face in case you snap one of the cogs inside and it'll not give you the effect. But they are, I had them obviously before done the course because obviously I like to try things, not facial filler, but I like to try. I tried them and they were amazing. So
and where can people find you?
On Facebook, Instagram, and maybe your page.
Yes, Maddison Avenue Aesthetics, and the salon itself is over in Four Winds.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, no, I wanted the handle. I'm going to put the handles. I'm going to come because this is where people.
He's meant to give me these questions well before. I'm not being realist.
Bad fucking producer. It's more late anyway. I wanted you to be a bit more candid because you're a fucking gig. We've had some laughs, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it. Throughout the years.
We definitely have. Shaunna, the aliens and all. We knew everything. Me, her, and Gemma. We've had a lot of really, really good times, and we're all about the female empowerment. So one of the girls that I'd actually read before actually works here, doesn't she?
Yes. Denise, yeah.
So it's everything's all like, I don't know, came together. I love it seeing that all happen. Like, and now Gemma's over here now too. I've come over to do readings as well a few times. So.
There is customers that's come in that's seen it, like obviously follow your page too, and obviously where I've got clients from too, so it's quite good. Yeah. So we all help each other. That's
it. Hope you all check Shaunna's page out, Maddison Avenue Aesthetics. If you're thinking about threads, you want something instant, maybe you want your jaw, your face, your eyes.
You will see it instantly.
Your arse, whatever you want, lift that.
You will see it instantly anyway, because obviously, you know, the way I do one side of the face, let them see it, because I think it's hard to tell on anybody, like on your own face.
It is, it definitely
is. Other people's compliments, so I would do one side, let them see the results on one side, and then go on to do the other. And the results are really good. Like,
you'll be able to see wee bits through this anyway, but I think I'm about to get stabbed, so... Last time I didn't have any pain relief, did I?
No.
And I swear my toes were curling. But
no, he was acting all brave and all, oh, it's not sore. And then he had to cut out his video. And I tell everybody that because I laugh. I'm like, don't listen to Glenn, that's sore.
It is nippy, but it's not sore compared to lips. Lips are fucking...
Lips are
really sore. Like, but I like the feeling after a couple of days. My lips, I just wanted them to stay like swollen.
Yeah, I know everybody does. They always come back.
But check out Maddison Avenue Aesthetics. Thank you, Shaunna, for coming on. Are you going to come on again sometime?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yes, I'll have
maybe get the questions next time.
Yes, get you and Jam over here together and quizzes. Mwah.
See you later.
Bye-bye. It was absolutely great, folks. I always like to, not all the time I'm able to do these things for myself, but this comes back to, do you know when I was growing up, I'm not even joking you, my parents were that strict. I was not allowed to get my ear pierced. I was not allowed to dye my hair. I was not allowed to have any sort of real identity until I got older. Right, it was not allowed. So see now, if I want to go and get my eyes blackened by a beautiful lady who's going to make me look a bit better, well, I'm game as a badger for it. All right, so whatever you got to do, folks, to make you feel good. All right, some people like to go to the gym. Some people like, some people are going to glaze a bowl. Whatever you're really into. All right, honestly, you've got to do these things in order to keep yourself right. I wanted to talk a wee bit about mental health in this part. It's very, very important to me. And I'd mentioned it last week, and it's weird how sometimes I'll talk about things and then the very next week they'll actually happen, or I'll be right there in that situation, or something will come about based on what I've just spoke about. So it gives me great pleasure, folks. Honestly, I think this is one of the most favourite ones I've done. Talk about a breath of fresh air. Anybody knows me, I can talk for England, all right? Especially get me in mic setting and readings and things, and I probably don't shut up. But I got really, really lovely energy off this beautiful lady called Brenda Shankey. And honestly, Brenda is a coach, all right? And Brenda's also a counsellor, and she does an awful lot of different therapies down at Willow's Reach in Belfast. I've only really met this lady recently, although I do know her from the past. But from I've met her, I actually went to a manifestation workshop on Saturday there. And I'm being honest with you, I feel like it gave me what I needed. All right, I've got some big projects coming up. You'll find out in the next episode. We'll go talk a wee bit about that. It's different things that's happening. However, you know, sometimes I think we all need something. We all need whatever it is. And for me, I mean, I don't really go and get readings and awful that unless I really, really need it or it's a one-off because I believe that it's better to have something completely random. Anytime I've tried to plan it, is what I'm saying, it doesn't work. So the best readings I've ever got are completely random. That wasn't meant to get it, and it happened. All right, or I got a last minute appointment, something happened, or I'd seen something and boom. Do you know it wasn't always like it's not like I can get a reading when I want it. Is what I'm saying. So people often ask, I get readings because I'm a psychic, because it's what I do. I mean, absolutely not. No, not really. Not really at all. Unless the last reading I had was 2 or 3 years ago with a girl called Angela Kitson. Now, I've been to see Angela a couple of times in my life. There's her and there's another girl. There's a couple. There's a couple in my life that have been, oh my God, I don't need to see them all the time because the things that they've told me is enough for me. And it's only whenever I need certain things that I'll go and get a reading. All right. Usually whenever my head's melted with men, which hasn't been in a real long time. All right. Because I'm older and wiser now. But usually I used to get my head fucked and need bits of advice and need different things. And is he going to come back to me? Is he going to come back to me? You know what I mean? So yeah, that was when I would have went and seen a psychic. Because I still have my grannies and things, folks. All right, this is the whole thing. I've never been one to go and see mediums because I've not had that experience yet. However, I know that I'm going to go the whole hog there myself and become more a medium later in life. Obviously, when I don't have my wee grannies and things, this is the whole thing. I'm still kidding myself that I'm still young. But I want to say, folks, it's really, really great to see people like Brenda doing what they're doing. I mean, Brenda came back from London. She's had a really successful career in beauty and makeup, and now she's doing what she's doing now. And I'm telling you, this lady knows her stuff. All right. So with great pleasure, I'm going to introduce my next guest, the awe-inspiring, ultra-fabulous Brenda Shankey. Brenda, welcome to the Up the GLEN podcast. I'm so excited to have you on. I just want to say that if you watched last week, a lovely girl I've been friends with actually since P3. P3. Me and Danielle went back since, and she was bombing and blowing about this place, Willow Tree. And when I went on then had a look, I found you. But I know you because I'd give you a reading before, but not only that, there, really drawn to your posts.
Wow.
Your TikTok and your ability to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely incredible. So tell me a wee bit about what you do.
Well, I'm now in Willow's Reach. We're in Belfast
Yeah.
city centre. And look, I couldn't be more excited to be
Yeah.
here. I've been in London for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say I am a well-being coach. But my passion is
Yeah.
teenagers and young people.
Yeah.
And it's not about being a well-being coach. I just love to give people
Yeah.
the power to like themselves,
Yeah.
to love themselves.
Yeah.
And isn't it true that in Northern Ireland, loving yourself is really uncomfortable?
It's a taboo.
And people think, oh, you're big-headed, and who do they think they are?
None of us are born with confidence, are we?
Oh, and it makes me sad because I was very fortunate. I got to work in London with West End stars.
Yeah.
Now, I have coached some of the biggest dancers, singers, actors in London.
Yeah.
And they're just the same as us.
Yeah. Can you tell me any names?
No, but okay. I have people, I'm coaching at the moment, people on Dua Lipa's dancers on their worldwide tour.
Yeah.
People on stage in Wicked and Juliet. I've just seen a performer last week. We were on 6. Oh, I can't even remember. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
But I literally was coaching 50 to 60 people a week.
Yeah.
Now, tell me that isn't needed.
That is.
Tell me that is not necessary.
So needed, no matter what area you're in, no matter where you are in your life. Like, I think it is absolutely needed, or how you meant to.
And this is, everybody needs somebody
Yeah.
to, I think, inspire them, to
Yeah.
coach them, to drive them. I have a coach.
Yeah.
You know, I have a spiritual guide. I was talking to you at the weekend, I was on a retreat.
Yeah.
I need to always keep building myself up.
Yeah.
But I need someone else to sometimes say, you're doing well.
Yeah.
That's the right thing.
Yes.
You're all right. Don't be afraid. And I need that.
Yeah, we all do.
And so I think this investment in yourself, I now would rather spend all this money on my feeling good,
Yeah.
on knowing that I'm on the right track,
Yeah.
on knowing that I'm not afraid to put myself out there anymore, because what does fear do?
Hold you back.
It holds you back.
Yeah.
And who are we afraid of?
Ourselves, most.
Ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by no coincidence that I'm talking to you, because the one person that gave me this lesson was my sister.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting emotional when I'm with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to have a wee hug then. Oh, love. I think she'd be very proud of what you're doing right now. I know.
God, do you know, 6 years ago she passed.
Yeah.
And she died a really tough death.
Yeah.
So she died from addiction. God, I don't really cry. And she said to me when she was passing, don't let anybody else suffer like me.
Yeah.
You have a voice. Please teach people
Yeah.
how to not be afraid of asking for help. Please try and help people with addiction. Please try and help people not suffer like I did, because this is no way to live.
Yeah.
And she was 32, and she was the most gorgeous person. And something happened, and straight after she died, me and my 2 children went to France.
Yeah.
And I called it the fuck it month.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
I had just lost the most precious thing in my life, that was my sister. And I thought, what's it all about? You know, why am I here? Why was she taken? What are we here to do?
Yeah.
And we're here to live.
We're here to live.
But
Yeah.
we're here to be me, to be you.
Yeah.
Without apologizing to anybody else.
Yeah.
To be unapologetically you.
Yourself. Yeah.
And your gifts that you were given, that I was given, that you've been given, that is your gift that has been given to you. And your job is to share it with this world. No fucks given.
Yeah.
What anybody else says or does is none of their business.
Yeah.
If you are put on this planet to be the best of you, to be your best self, whether that's a singer, a dancer, an artist, a DJ, a meditation teacher, a mum, a dad,
Yeah.
a street cleaner, a youth worker, that's your job. And to be proud of who you are,
Yeah.
wherever you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what society says, as long as you are living from your truth.
Yeah.
That to me is your power. And once you step into your power and you feel good, I started to not care. I used to not go out the door if the makeup wasn't right and the clothes weren't right. I'd have been like, oh, what am I wearing? The time I wasted and energy on getting other people's approval.
What other people think.
I wasted so many years doing that. And now that I've found freedom.
Yeah.
And the freedom is, I get up every day and I choose to be me. Who do I feel I am? What do I feel like doing? And that could be a day in bed, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Eating all the chocolate. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No guilt, no worry, no fear, no attachments. No more worrying about anything. Today, I will be me, no matter what umbrella that takes me under.
Yeah.
That also includes my rest days. And it's funny, and nothing is funny because nothing in life happens by accident.
Yeah.
But I had been training. Years ago, I suffered depression after my son was born, and I struggled for years, coping with in and out of depression, in and out of addiction. And that addiction isn't just alcoholism, drug addiction. It can be problems with food.
Yeah.
It can be addicted to social media.
Yeah.
It can be addicted to TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, if you are fixated on something that is not healthy for you, that takes you out of being fulfilled, where the focus from your mindset is on unhealthy behaviors.
Yes.
To me, that's addiction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And anyway, I've been in and out of everything, and all the medication wasn't helping. The self-soothing wasn't helping. The putting in the food, the putting in the drink, the tablets from the doctor.
Yeah.
Nothing really helped. And I decided that I wanted peace in here and in here.
Yeah.
And all I can think of was the same thing when my sister was going through her trouble. She kept saying to me, take it out of me. It won't shut up. It's doing my head in.
Yeah.
The voices in the head.
Yeah.
So I started to learn. I started to research. I started to study. And the study was, how can I quiet my mind? How can I be at peace in here and in here?
Yeah.
And I kept finding the word meditation and mindfulness.
Yeah.
And do you know what I thought? I don't want to be a hippie.
Yeah.
Because this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought society's impression was people who did that were
Hippies.
hippies.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be glamorous and I wanted to party and I wanted to
Yeah.
have a nice car and all of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did all that quietly. And then it kept pulling me. I started to get peace and I started to learn and study. And the biggest study of all was when my sister passed. In the 5 years of her addiction, I threw myself into trying to help her.
Yeah.
And one study came up. If we want to prevent mental health in teenagers or adults,
Yeah.
we've got to start with a child.
Yeah.
The child needs the education.
Yeah.
So mindfulness in kids, getting in the coping mechanism. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if at 8, 9 or 10 you were taught what anger
How to
was?
meditate, yeah.
How
and
to
what anger-
meditate. What if you had a tantrum, what to do?
Yeah.
It's okay
Yeah.
to be angry. It's okay to have a tantrum. But it depends
How
how
you
long
cope
you
with it.
stay there
Mhm.
and how you cope with that.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned. If my sister had the coping techniques, she might still be here.
Yeah.
But she's not. So my job is to give people, teenagers, the self-soothing,
Yeah.
the understanding themselves. What are you thinking? How are you
Yeah.
feeling? How can we navigate through that today so that you feel safe,
Yeah.
you feel okay? If you're angry, let's work with the anger. Let's work with it by yourself, in your room. Let's get through it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Journaling, meditating, acting out through healthy ways, through boxing, through
Yeah.
running, through dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of these things became the message that I wanted to give out to the world.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. You know, my backstory is hair and makeup.
Yeah.
So I went to London to be the best of me
Yeah.
because I wanted to do and help others and give my
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah.
So now I'm back to Northern Ireland and Northern Ireland is ready and excited.
Yes.
And I have manifestation workshops. I have teens mindfulness and meditation
Yes.
classes. I have parent and teen groups.
Yeah.
I have after school clubs for kids from 5 to
Yeah.
12 on dealing and coping, but through fun activities.
Yeah.
Through everything fun, being your best self, through drawing, through creating, through crafts. And it's all in Willow's Reach.
Yeah. Tell me a wee bit about Willow's Reach. We're down here today and it's absolutely stunning. It's in Belfast City Centre. Not quite opening yet, but it's going to be open what date?
We're going to be open 25th of September for sure. We have 2 floors open at the moment. So if you go onto the website, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. All the links are there. All my courses start on Saturday. And all of the courses, but from September, the end of September, we will be fully 5 floors. We have a full floor of counsellors, social workers. There is wellness coaches. There is classes to suit paint and pour.
Yeah.
Ella was down at, which is painting. We have a walk-in centre. You can walk into free meditations with me on Thursday lunchtime just to see if you like it or not.
Yeah.
To de-stress. The Positivity Cafe is as you enter. There's a library there for adults and kids. All the wellbeing books you want. You can come in, have a coffee. We have a fundraising event. Are you going to come join us?
Yes, I'll be there.
11th of September over at the Titanic. Again, go to the Facebook book. We're going to have 2 sensory rooms fully fitted out so
Yeah.
that carers, parents, people can get respite. The kids can play in the sensory rooms
Yeah. Yeah.
and the parents can have a coffee. And we have 5 stores that are going to be busting
Yeah.
with everything wellness, Monday to Sunday,
Yeah.
7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So that if you are feeling low, if you are feeling lost, if the NHS, you can't get a waiting list, please come in. I will be here, our counsellors will be here. Someone will always be there to talk to you. And our mission and our aim is that this wellbeing hub is for everybody. And we can teach you to help yourself, but that we stop all of those deaths that are unnecessary.
Yes. Yes.
That we can house everybody in Belfast who needs the care immediately. Just come and see us.
Brenda, there couldn't be any more need for this stuff. Do you know
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
and I know the NHS are amazing and everybody talks about the waiting list
Yeah.
and if one day you're desperate and you walk in through our doors and just get a coffee,
Yeah.
it could save a life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and it has that ripple effect too. When people catch on that there's somewhere to go, then they can tell their friends.
100%. You know, and I also teach the mental health first aid. So I
Yeah.
can go to community centres, I can go to offices. And the mental health first aid is not being afraid to speak to someone,
Yeah.
just listening. And the thing with people is people are afraid to speak.
Yeah.
But also, as people, we're afraid to go, oh, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
What if I offend someone?
Yeah.
It's just knowing the right things to say to
Yeah.
maybe hug that person for that
Yes.
moment.
Yeah.
And this centre is just heaven sent, I think.
I think so too. I do. I get that feeling. Tell them more about it, is Brenda.
So we are right opposite Nulla the Hula and the Bluefish. Next door to Elliot's, round the corner. 5 stories, Willow's Reach. Please come and say hi to me. Just come and introduce yourself, have a coffee, a chat, and let's have some fun.
Brenda, you've been a great guest. Will you come back on again?
Oh, I'd love to.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome anytime, love. And I'm definitely going to get booked in.
Great.
Because this is what I said in the last podcast, that obviously I'd been through a wee bit of trauma myself, and I thought to myself, you know, I even need counselling for some things, just for trauma, you know. And I think a lot of people at home with their different scenarios definitely are more open to that sort of coaching, counselling, whatever it may be, mindfulness, meditation. Now that there's more services here, I feel like we point them in that direction.
And, you know, don't poo-poo something before you've tried it.
Yeah.
You know, and meditation and mindfulness isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
Like Prozac isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
But it saved my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, it just, and that's why I've done the walk-in classes for free. Just come in and sit with me. And one of the greatest things I do, you know, is if I coach you one-to-one, I explain the mind and the body, how you're feeling and how to go up to the mindset and change the thinking. It's, you know, through cognitive behavioral therapy. And genuinely,
it really works.
Being able to live your best life every day, no matter what you're going through. Because it's not all about the good times, is it?
No, you've got to have the contrast.
It's about being able to know that on a bad day, you've got the skills to cope.
Yeah.
And I feel if I have any skills that get me through it, it's knowing me.
Yeah.
And I needed a coach to show me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't understand myself.
Yeah, just to work yourself out.
Just to work myself out.
Yeah,
so it's the best money I ever spent.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy now I can help others.
So folks, investing in yourself, Brenda, is it worth it?
100%.
Brenda, you've been a great guest. Talk soon. Oh my God, Brenda Shankey, you have been absolutely awesome. I couldn't ask for a better guest. Your energy is just awesome. And thank you for sharing your story. I know that we're going to be great friends. So folks, from I met Brenda, I have actually went down and done a manifestation workshop. And I'm telling you folks, this lady really knows her stuff. All right. Not only is she great with mindfulness, but she's also a coach. All right. So I'm actually booked in with Brenda to get a wee bit of coaching. I've got some big projects coming up in the next wee while. And I'm just getting a wee bit of coaching to give me that wee bit of oomph, because I could be quite nervous as a person. Any of you know me personally, you know that I am quite nervous at times, you know. And that's something that I'm working on. It's something that I'm working on now with Brenda. So I'm all biz. So yes, folks, this has been a great episode. I'm really, really glad that I had Carline and Brenda and Shaunna on. You're all a great bunch of girls. Next week, folks, you're going to be seeing a bit more to do with mental health and what other services are out there. We have got some great guests coming on. All right, now I'm so excited about them. And also we have a fabulous spiritual person coming on too. I'm not going to mention who yet, but we're just going to play it all by ear. But exciting things are happening, folks. Remember to take care of your head. All right. Sometimes all you need is to go out and do one of them painting workshops. Don't you just need to get out for an hour, do something creative for you. You know, that was all I needed on Saturday. All right. I'm quite mindful anyway. I've had to overcome quite a lot of things in my life. Not because I've wanted to, but because I've had to. So now I'm at a point now where I'm wanting to fine tune the energy. I'm wanting to work on little things that I think will help me. One of the things that we worked on at the weekend, I'm just going to throw this out there, was like, we did a meditation. It was like going inside yourself and giving your inner child a hug. Look, he's a wee bastard, that GLEN. I fucking hands on him. Well, I did. I hugged him. I hugged that wee boy, and I swear, I actually feel better now. I feel like I know the mechanisms where I'm not going to lose the plot. I can be very fairy. See, sometimes bad temper. Ah! Know what I mean? So it's good to know different mechanisms, different techniques, different ways of, and it's lovely to have someone else tell you. You know, that's just the whole point. When you do what I do, people always assume that you can psychic yourself or counsel yourself, or you can you can do those things for yourself. Not always, no, not always at all. In fact, I'm able to give others a lot more than what I've ever been able to give myself, you know. And that's something that I'm working on right now too. So whatever it is you need, be sure to take it. Remember, everyone has their own individual magic and energy and chaos and trauma and all these different elements that make up who you are. The person standing next to you is also the same. They have their elements that make up them. Your children are indifferent. They have their elements that make up them. You know, so at various points in life, folks, I think it's important that we do whatever we can to be understood. So, I'm going to stop ranting all night. I can talk. Fairly fucking talk. Honestly, need to sometimes just put a sock in my mouth. Would be better. Gagged. Fucking gagged. Wishful thinking. Well, folks, I'm really excited about next week because we've got some really super guests coming on. We're going to continue on the sort of mental health thing and then bring them into spirituality. So next week we've got, I think, 3 or 4 guests coming on. It might be a bit of a longer episode. A few wee things coming up in the next couple of weeks that I can't wait to talk about. So stay tuned, folks. Also, to give you an idea of next week, someone very spiritual is coming on. A couple of coaches are coming on. We have DJ Andy coming on again to tell us about a track that we have mixed together, which is absolutely powerful, in the genre of psytrance, which is just my favorite. Makes me feel whapped to the chaps. So it does, even though I'm not. But yeah, hope you have all had a nice week, folks. Remember, it's September. And it's a perfect time maybe to start new things. You see, people are starting their New Year's at school and college and things like that. Why don't you embark on something new for you? Do you know, whatever that is, why don't you just go and do it? All right, take it from me. Just take the first step. All right, so lots of love. I will be back next week, folks. Please follow me on all my socials at Psychic GLEN. You'll be able to see some of the videos. And thank you to all my guests this week. You have been awesome. Can't wait to come on next week so you can see my peak. But love yous lots. I will see yous all later. Take care. Do you need a psychic reading or a message from a loved one in spirit? Visit www.psychicglen.com.